Hi guys, how are you all doing? Well, I get asked a lot of questions from our logging side of the operation with the skid steers and in the background with the processor. One of my biggest video I posted last year, we had some steel. One of the biggest questions I get is, do you run a metal detector, and why not? You should. You guys are dummies for not doing it. Well, you can say whatever you want. You guys are all allowed your own opinion. We will have ours. So, the answer to that question, do we run a metal detector over our firewood logs before we put them on the processor? The answer to that is no. We do not. I have actually seen my boss do it once, and that was this year on a log he knew had steel in it, and he was trying to find it, so he cut it out. Why don't we? Well, when you have piles of logs like this and this, that is a lot of metal detecting that you got to do, and you got to put all the logs down and run it over. And a metal detector isn't 100% certain. Now, the other point to this is almost all our firewood we get, we log. We log it out of wood lots. The chances of that having steel is slim to none. You may find some no trespassing signs like small nails or screws. And the worst being, and I have seen other guys cut the same thing, is the spikes for climbing up for deer stands. Usually you can see those that they're in there, but you never know. One breaks off or gets buried in a tree and you may not see it. Other than that, the chances of hitting something are slim. Now, if you're running a processor and you're into doing urban wood, yeah, running a metal detector, you have it's a smart thing. You have a pretty good chance of hitting something. Like when we did a custom job, and this is what I'll show you exactly what we hit. It is right here. That it's rusted now. This was in a birch tree, not very big. I'm pretty sure that was a gate hanger. I'm guessing on kind of what was left on the other side. That ruined every single tooth on that blade. And you say, well, why don't you just have a spare blade and put that blade, then instead of fooling around with changing them? Well, blades are very expensive. You watch that chipper guy, he just put one on his slasher, the same type of blade, just bigger. I forget what it was, around 3,000 US. So you're looking at probably 4,000 Canadian for us here. That's a lot of money to just have sitting around. I'll show you what it did to the Shanks. Here you go. These are the Shanks that came off after we hit that. And you can see it took this tip off right, this edge right here, cutting through it. So, not very nice. These are, this is one of the other questions I get asked in that video. These are worth, I think, $13 with the tip on. Canadian. You can get the tips. I think they're $5 a piece. And you just silver solder them on. These I don't think are salvageable, but always good to have a spare, and we do have some spares. We don't have a full set. There you go. There you go, the big mess. It was chewed up pretty good. But, so, you can see what kind of damage it can do. Again, the chances of hitting that, again, are probably slim to none. I did hit something else within 50 hours of that one. Another custom job. This stuff should have been mostly bush run stuff. It could have been a fence row, fence line thing. I'm not even quite sure what I hit. I just found the bits of it. I think I did do a video of that as well. I think I took out 10 teeth out of that, which we still had spares of. But the other thing, what kind of damage does a nail or a screw do? Well, I'll show you. There. Let me see if I can get in some light here for you. Right there. That's a nail. There's the point. Not a big nail, but it did zip right through it. I can hear hitting them. I can hear the difference. I can hear the difference in the blade. It makes a different sound. Some of those guys, anybody runs a sawmill or a bandsaw mill, you guys understand, you know what it's like when you hit something. Here's the other part of it. Another nail there. That was the other half of that one that I cut through. Anyway, I kicked that log out. That was the end of that. And that distance probably right there, probably the distance of a no trespassing sign, no hunting sign, private property, whatever. That's probably the distance there. But, oh, we got Wasp there. But I'll go show you what that does to a teeth. It doesn't ruin them. It does chip them, and I'll show you the little bit of damage it does do. Doesn't stop us. You just carry on. This is what I like about these running a circular saw. You can buzz through a nail and not really worry. Bar saw, you'd have to change, probably ruin a chain. This. Let me see if I can find it here for you. Give me a second. Let me move this down. Right here. Hopefully you can see. I don't have the greatest light. This little chip right here, you can see it took off that little corner piece. That one, sorry, this one, and this one. That's all that nail did. That's it. You can just hammer right on through, change them when you have some downtime or a chance. We keep on running with them like that. Yeah, so like I said, these blades are fairly forgiving. Hitting stuff like that until you hit that gate hanger or till you hit a gate hanger, climbing spike, it will ruin all those teeth. I believe there's 33 of them on there, so you can do the math. $13 a piece, whatever that works out to. And my time, the first time took a little bit longer because I've never done a full set, and now I figured out the little bit quicker way of doing it. Grinding the ends off and makes it way quicker. The other thing, that would be a disadvantage hitting stuff like that. It ruins every tooth, which would be an advantage for a bar saw. All you'd have to do is change the chain. You could re-sharpen it or throw it out at whatever, $30 chain, whatever they're worth, $35 for a 404 chain on it. and put a new one on, kick the log out, and keep on going. So now dirty logs, this has a better advantage. So all right, now we have just shy of 1,300 hours on it. That happened once. We changed a full set. It was I think we had I'd have to go back and look, somewhere around 1,000 hours on it, give or take. And you know, they were getting a bit dull. I could tell as soon as we put the new set on how much nicer they did cut. So we could have, you know, sharpened them or not. We don't have a sharpener for it, but you can get them. It's a Simon's blade as well. I'm sure you're going to ask about that. Simon's Kodiak slasher blade. Yeah, I think that's it. I think I've covered everything on that. If you have any more questions, leave them down there. I know I'm going to ruffle some feathers with saying this about not using a metal detector. Everybody's going to, you know, I had comments calling me an idiot because we're dummies because we don't use a metal detector. Well, when you're going through those piles, and that's what we do every year, it's all time. To have time going through them all and checking them and rolling those logs over if they're bigger, because it may not pick up if it's right on the bottom. So that's all time. Just load it and send it through. If we were always cutting urban stuff, that'd be a different story. We'd probably run a metal detector over and spend a little bit more time knowing that we were chancing it. Because it's me and my boss are the only cutters, and I'm the only employee. So we watch out for that. We either cut it out or we will mark the log right in the bush right there so we know if there's steel or not in it. Like I said, the odd time we do find it, never really makes it up onto the machine anyway. Like I said, you cut it out or you mark a log so you can find it when it's on the landing and do what you got to do with it, pull the nail out or whatever. So, like I said, if you guys want to run metal detectors over your logs, that's perfectly fine. Go ahead. All the power to you. We choose not to. Anyway, there you have it. Hope you guys all enjoyed it. And like I said, any questions, leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks, guys.